The Harry Potter show keeps on getting more news. Every time we turn around, there is news about the Harry Potter show, and today is no different. We have a brand new casting reveal that just went down that will surely excite you guys. I'm telling you, out of every casting announcement so far, this is the one that has me the most excited. On top of that, it sounds like the pre-production for the Harry Potter show is starting relatively soon, so we're going to go over all of those details and more. We have a lot to cover, so check the video chapters for easy viewing, and let's get started. So jumping straight into the biggest news of the day, the Harry Potter show has officially made another casting choice, and this one is my favorite by far, and that is actor Nick Frost of Hot Fuzz and a bunch of other projects is poised to play Hagrid in the upcoming HBO series. This was reported by Deadline. You guys know the drill. This isn't 100% confirmed. Like, once we hear from HBO themselves or Warner Brothers, then we'll know that, you know, he's playing Hagrid. But for now, this is indeed just a report or an exclusive report from Deadline, which, like I was saying, as soon as I saw this news, I was like, dude, yes, Nick Frost is perfect. I love Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, and just so many other projects he's just legendary in. As much as I like Brett Goldstein, I thought he did a great job in Ted Lasso. Nick Frost is perfect for the role of Hagrid. Like, you see him and you just think, this dude's wholesome. This is a Hagrid choice. So jumping into the report from Deadline, they said this, and I quote, exclusive. HBO continues to put together a cast puzzle of its high-profile series adaptation of the hugely popular Harry Potter fantasy books. The latest major piece appears to be British actor comedian Nick Frost, who is nearing a deal to play the half-giant Rubeus Hagrid, Deadline has learned. They then went on to say that he would join John Lithgow, Janet McTeer, and Papa Sidhu, who has, as Deadline reported exclusively, are set or in negotiations to play Professor Albus Dumbledore, Minerva McGonagall, and Professor Severus Snape, respectively. And as is tradition, HBO declined to comment by saying, we appreciate that such high-profile series will draw a lot of rumors and speculation. The network said in a comment, as we make our final way through the pre-production, we will only confirm details as we finalize deals, which they said pre-production, so that's pretty exciting. Like, we kind of knew that it was in pre-production, but we have some news that's going to drop like very soon that confirms more production news, which we'll talk about later on in the video. But Deadline then went on to say that while HBO has remained tight-lipped, chatter about Frost's potential casting as Hagrid started percolating online last week, included on Reddit, as fans have been zeroing in on a cryptic March 20th Instagram post by Frost that said, it's happening, it's actually happening. As you guys can see from the Instagram post, it says, what a bloody lovely day, it's happening, it's actually happening, stay cool. So yes, Nick Frost is actually going to be Rubeus Hagrid. Like, dude, what an awesome choice. Like, I genuinely don't know of any other person that could play Rubeus Hagrid. Deadline then went on to say that Hagrid is the Wizarding School's warm and friendly gamekeeper and groundskeeper who eventually becomes the Care of Magical Creatures professor. The character was portrayed by Robbie Coltrane, RIP, in all 8 Harry Potter films. Deadline continued in their article and said the Harry Potter series, designed to run over a decade, comes from writer showrunner Francesca Gardner and director executive producer Mark Mylod. Casey Bloys, chairman and CEO of HBO and Max Content at the time of the original announcement, called the show a faithful adaptation of J.K. Rowling's novels that will deep dive into each of the iconic books. They then said that Frost is known for his frequent collaborations with Simon Pegg, which honestly, Simon Pegg better be cast for something in the Harry Potter universe as well. Like, I don't know if you guys played the Hogwarts Legacy at all, but Simon Pegg played Phineas Nigellus Black, which his portrayal of that was awesome. Loved it. Honestly, I thought we didn't get enough of him, so hopefully we get something more for Hogwarts Legacy too. But them casting him as some character in the Harry Potter series is a must-have. Like, we need to have that for the Harry Potter show. But back to the article, sorry for the segue. They said Frost is known for his collaborations with Simon Pegg, including movies Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, Paul, and then the film The World's End, and then on Prime Video, the supernatural comedy series Truth Seekers. He was also a part of the main cast of the AMC action drama Into the Badlands, and Frost will next be seen in the How to Train Your Dragon live-action remake set for release in June. So yeah, back to what I was saying earlier, like, dude, Nick Frost is a perfect choice. Honestly, out of every casting decision so far that we know that I guess has been either reported on or, you know, almost confirmed, like the negotiations might still be happening. Out of everyone, Nick Frost has been my favorite, especially for Hagrid. There's also, you know, John Lithgow. That was a solid choice, but it's not nearly as good of a choice as this Nick Frost casting for, you know, Hagrid. Now this brings us to a post that I saw on the Harry Potter HBO Reddit from user Dalt, and they said Harry Potter is on Production Weekly this week. Now in the graphic, it shows this, as you guys can see on the screen. It says Harry Potter series HBO, Warner Brothers Leavesden. It then shows a status of August 2024 2025 and location of London, UK. Now the status, this likely means when the production officially starts for the Harry Potter show. They then showcase the producers, which one is David Heyman, which we knew about for a while, Jeffrey Clifford, J.K. Rowling, Neil Blair, Ruth Kinley Letts, showrunner Francesca Gardner, writer Laura Neal, director Mark Mylod. Yes, thank you, Luna, my kitty cat. Thank you for doing that. I definitely wanted that on the ground and not on my desk. The graphic then says LP Tim Wellspring, PM Michael Sharp, and then it showcases the cast, John Lithgow, Janet McTeer, Papa Sidiou, and then it says Nick Frost, and then CD, Lucy Bevan, and Emily Bruckman. Now on the graphic, it gives a description of the show, a live-action show that chronicles the lives of a young wizard, Harry Potter, and his friends, Hermione Granger and Ron Weasley, all of whom are students at the School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. The main story arc concerns Harry's struggle against Lord Voldemort, a dark wizard who intends to become immortal, overthrow the wizard governing body known as the Ministry of Magic, and subjugate all wizards and muggles. It then concludes by saying each season of the series will be based on one of J.K. Rowling's 7 books, but then they gave us a working title, the W/T, which that is called Dark Train. So that right there is the working title. That's the code name. Now I'd like to reference some statements made by Dalt, the user that, posted this graphic over on the Harry Potter on HBO Reddit, to which they said this: there's not a whole lot of new info here, but it does confirm Lithgow, McTeer, Papa Sidiou, and Nick Frost are official, and it also lists the August as the current start date. They then said, also of note, it says its working title will be Dark Train. For those unfamiliar, that does not mean the show will be called Dark Train. They said think of it as a code name for any public-facing production info moving forward, so people won't automatically know that it's the Harry Potter show that they're filming down the street or doing costume fittings next door, because the text will say Dark Train instead of Harry Potter. But then the user noted that since it's straight up from the production weekly description, they might change the code name. So yeah, overall, I think the key takeaway is that the production filming date will start in August, which honestly, that's pretty exciting. I thought it would be around either August or September, so the fact that they're filming it in August makes sense. Like if they're filming it in August, then it would totally make sense for the filming to continue in September whenever they go back to school, and the filming will obviously continue until they're finished with it. But yeah, I think that like 3 to 4 month timeline is a really solid window. Now with the production start date in mind, we can kind of get an idea about when all of the other news is about to drop. So obviously we have all of these casting decisions that will continue to go down throughout the next few months. I think the Golden Trio announcement will happen relatively soon. Probably this summer is when we're going to get the official announcement. At the current time, they're likely working on different chemistry reads to make sure that they found the right person for the job, and that's across the Golden Trio, also Dumbledore and Hagrid, to make sure everyone meshes together. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. Exciting times ahead. So this brings us to our next bit of news, and this is coming from John Lithgow. He has been reading the Harry Potter series. Like, imagine being able to read Harry Potter for the first time, dude. Like, just the surreal experience he's about to go through. Obviously, his experience will be a lot different than the one that we went through. Like, we read it whenever we were younger, and John Lithgow is a lot older. But according to The Hollywood Reporter, while speaking on the Smartless podcast on Monday, the actor admitted that he's behind everybody when it comes to knowing the series, but doesn't think the role of Dumbledore in the reboot will be that hard, he said. He said the overall concept of this entire reboot of Harry Potter is an entire season is devoted to a single novel. John Lithgow then shared that he's halfway through the second novel right now, and he's educating himself on the story. Now, the host of the Smartless podcast, Sean Hayes, asked Lithgow about the filming schedule on how much he'd be traveling, with the series expected to be filming in London. Lithgow didn't really know the specifics, but he recalled the time that he spent filming The Crown. He said, honestly, I don't know. He said, I mean, I was over in England for 8 months for The Crown and barely came back to the US. I think I may have to come back once or twice. I can imagine that I come back much more. Now, after it was announced that Lithgow would be taking on the headmaster role, apparently he's been approached by multiple people in public asking about the adaptation, and Lithgow on the podcast said, can you believe this has already started? The deal was only set like 48 hours, and in airports 2 weeks ago, somehow other people had gotten wind of this, and they were stopping me. Now, when reflecting on the character, which was portrayed by Richard Harris and Michael Gambon in the franchise films, and his thoughts on having to travel for the role, he said, Dumbledore he's kind of a nuclear weapon. He only goes on very, very occasionally. I don't think it's going to be that hard of a job, and we'll just go back and forth between the US and the UK. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. I honestly think John Lithgow is going to do an absolutely incredible job at Dumbledore. I think that he's great for the role, and that's the same that goes for Nick Frost. Again, as I said earlier in the video, like, he's gonna be perfect for Hagrid. I have zero concerns when it comes to him acting for Hagrid. Now, if it was some other people, I might have a bit of concerns, but for now, no. I'm ready for it. I think Nick Frost is gonna crush it, and I hope the rest of the actors do the same thing. But yeah, guys, that is gonna wrap it up with this video. Let me know what your thoughts are on this whole news. Who are you guys excited for whenever it comes to the Harry Potter show? Are you a bit concerned still, or are you going into things a bit cautiously optimistic? For me, I'm going into it, you know, pretty cautiously optimistic as well. Although I think that cautious optimism is going to turn into hype real quick because, again, I love Harry Potter and it's so easy to get excited about anything Harry Potter. But yeah, guys, that's going to wrap it up. Thanks for watching, and until next time, this has been your boy Wes World, and I will talk to you guys on the other side of the world. Yes, I'm still fixing the outro, but yeah, mischief managed.